Do you sometimes find that you really take to heart what people are saying, be it online or actually in person? Well, sometimes it does really hurt. And so today I thought it'd be great if we put it all into perspective and try and understand if it really matters what some people say. So several years ago, I discovered a different way of working called financial life planning. It takes a completely different view on how to work with clients and understand what's really important to them first and foremost, before then we start worrying about their money and doing the actual financial planning. So it's really a caring sort of process, something which understands what's deeply important to somebody, which may lead them to have regrets later in life if they don't actually fulfill it, or may lead to unhappiness now. So for me, this was a deeply important thing, something that I really got and really benefited me as well. And along that journey, I then met a new group of people of similar outlooks, people with a similar mindset, and people who I felt really inspired to be with. So now I took that back to Cornwall and tried to integrate it into the business where I was working. As you can imagine, a very traditional business didn't necessarily see things the same way that I did, but it started to make me reflect on whose values and whose opinions I really respected most. And about 12 months later, I got an email from the director of the business, and it said this: "Jeremy, I'm getting extremely concerned that you're being distracted by life planning and other such ideas." At that point, I suddenly realised I'm probably in the wrong place. And also, I started to think, whose opinions do I really value most? Is it somebody who's helping me move forward to transform me from the way I am to the way I'd like to be? Or is it someone who's trying to keep me in that old closeted environment, the same way because we've always done the same thing the same way, and we're going to keep doing it the same way? And actually, you shouldn't try to better yourself. And so about 3 months later, I'd resigned. I knew that I was in the wrong environment for me, and I knew that actually that person's opinions I didn't really value any longer, because they weren't opinions to help me, they're opinions to help themselves. I think that's a big lesson to learn. When people say things, when people give their opinions, whose benefit are they actually giving them for? Are they giving them for your benefit, or are they giving them for their own benefit? And only the other day I posted an article which compared financial planning to financial life planning. That's a small word, but makes such a huge difference. And most of the comments that I received were really positive, mainly from life planners and people in the industry whose opinion I really value. But I did have a few responses from other people, and to start with I started taking them to heart and being upset. But then I thought, well, actually, whose opinion do I actually value most here? Do I value the people who have supported me on my journey and are trying to encourage me to improve myself all the time? Or am I going to take to heart the person who I knew many years ago and doesn't really understand why I'm working in a different way or trying to do something a little bit different? Well, obviously I took the view of the people who inspired me the most, and not dwell too much on the people who made the comments which perhaps could be a little bit hurtful at times. And over the last few years I found this a really beneficial way of looking at associations. Whose opinion do I really value? Why are they giving me the opinion? And actually, how is it going to help me? And is it going to benefit them more than me? And so now over the years, I've got a really good way of filtering out the comments that may seem really hurtful, the comments which are beneficial, and the things that I actually really value. Whilst everyone is entitled to their opinion, they're not necessarily entitled to force it on you. And you're certainly not obliged to take it on board either. There's 5 ways where we can reframe these comments and actions that sometimes we might find a bit hurtful. 1. Do I really value this person's opinion? 2. Will I value this association or opinion in the future? 3. Do they add value to my life? 4. How would my life be without them? And 5. What have I learnt from their behaviour? And the things that I'd learnt over the last few years was, firstly, I was working in the wrong place. Secondly, I knew whose opinion I really valued. And thirdly, not to take heart when people make comments, because sometimes they say them purely and simply for their benefit and not to help others.